This video is going to be about curses. I've debated whether I should make a video on this for a while, and I think I'm going to get some negative feedback from this, but I've decided to make it anyway because I'm not particularly bothered about what kind of academics or skeptics say about this. The reason I want to make this video is for people who actually feel like they're cursed. So I'm not going to sit here and convince you that curses are real or that they have historical basis or that I'm not going to prove anything to you. This video is to help people who actually deal with this on a day-to-day basis and feel like they're cursed. Okay? So first of all, I just want to clarify what I'm talking about. A curse, if you feel like you're cursed, you're going to feel like everything you do is under some dark cloud. You can't have any success or joy in your life, and you feel like there's some sort of outside force that's influencing you and making your life more difficult than it ought to be or should be. I am not talking about the Disney kind of curse in Snow White where an evil queen shows up and says you will sleep until you're 18 and then you need a prince to kiss you. I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about a feeling of negative energy interfering in your life and making it more difficult than it should be. Okay? So I think in terms of the New Age community, that's going to be something that's easily understood. We spend a lot of time sending people love and light and energy and praying for them. And that's a type of sending people positive energy. And a curse is literally the opposite of that. It's sending people negative energy. It's wishing bad things on them. It's hoping that bad things are going to happen. And I think everyone's experienced this. If you drive a car and you've cut someone off, I'm sure someone has told you to go to hell or to drop dead. And that's a type of a curse. It's someone either verbally or non-verbally sending you negative energy that they then hope is going to have a negative impact on your life. So that's basically a curse. Now, the reason I am talking about this is because this has been a part of my experience. In my 20s, I felt I was cursed. Everything I tried failed. Nothing worked. I didn't have joy in my life. I was miserable. And I feel lucky because I hit a rock bottom with all of those things. But I did start to feel like there must be something affecting me here or influencing me here that is bringing all this negative energy to me, that is lowering my kind of frequency, and that is intervening in the real world on whoever's behalf to make things tougher for me. And I started to develop that belief, and I started to think, yes, I am cursed. So I looked into that. I started to read books. I spoke to psychics, and I got different responses. The first kind of response that I got from reading about these things is that it's a very primitive belief that ancient people used to hold, and that it's ridiculous and that you need to just ignore that. Okay, so that was the first thing that I ran into. What prevented me from just dismissing this was my own personal experience, because my own personal experience said, Greg, everything you try fails for whatever reason, and there's something going on here. Okay, so I couldn't just dismiss it because my experience told me otherwise. The next kind of response was, and I haven't written these down, I'm just kind of going through these, but the next kind of thing when I spoke to people, they told me was, it's in your head, it's a belief. You're giving power and energy to this, and it's not someone else kind of sending you negative energy. It's your own belief that you're cursed. You're cursing yourself. Okay. So I thought, okay, possibly that may be it. But if I'd had lots of positive experiences, then I either wouldn't have got to this stage, or I wouldn't have had all of these negative experiences to get me here. Anyway, it didn't make sense because it felt like I didn't just make it up, and I didn't just come to a point of saying I'm cursed after 2 months or 2 years or 4 years or 6 years. It was a lifelong experience that just made me feel like I'm operating under a dark star here. So I didn't think it was just in my head. So I dismissed that too. I kept looking, and then I hit upon people like Doreen Virtue, who recoded this and talked about cords of attachment, negative cords of attachment with your negative feelings and other people's negative feelings, of having kind of knives in your back, of people sending you negative energy, and then clearing that with angelic forces. Okay, so that was talking about negative energy and acknowledging it, and then kind of cleansing it by speaking to your angels and your guides. And for the first time, I really felt like there was some sort of acknowledgement that negative energy does exist and can be sent via people. And that really boggled my brain to begin with, because we do send love and light. So if you're able to send love and light, then on the flip side, why on earth wouldn't you be able to send negativity and distress and pain? We live on planet Earth. It's all about duality. So if you can send one thing, you can send the other. Right. The thing about that, I'm just going to sidetrack here a little bit. What you send out, you get back. So if you send people positivity, that's a good thing to do, because you attract more positivity to you. If you send people negativity, you attract more negativity to you as well. So people who curse you, or instances that curse you, will attract more negativity to themselves, and they're going to have their own problems, but that's really not the concern. The concern is that they've cursed you, and that you're going to feel those negative emotions, okay? The other thing I came across is people put this in terms of you have earthbound spirits that are attached to you and that are draining your energy and causing negative experiences, emotions. And that was something that I felt quite strongly worked, okay? So the way I feel this is not that there's negative spirits surrounding you or anything like that, but what I feel is that each time someone sends you a negative vibe, a negative energy, a curse word, a curse, what they're doing is they're kind of sending something dark into your force field. Think of yourself as a light body, or as a vibration body, or as a frequency. Think of yourself as something intangible that exists in an unmanifest kind of reality. When that negative energy comes in, it kind of is absorbed into that frequency. And let's say you're up here and you get all of these negative things in, your vibration will get lower and lower and lower and lower and lower. And because your own vibration is then lower, you send out that vibration, you operate on that frequency, and you create situations and you attract things into your life that match that low frequency. So that said, I really feel that the negativity people send you, if accepted and if not cleared out, can lower your own vibration, and then the law of attraction kicks in. The vibration you operate on attracts more of the same to you. So as far as I'm concerned, this makes sense in terms of why curses work, okay? So let's say your vibration has been lowered and you're down here now. You'll start to experience negative things like lack of abundance, lack of prosperity, lack of success, arguments, fighting, negative friendships, negative relationships. All of those things will be attracted to you. That then will lower your vibration even further, and that's when I feel you become really vulnerable, and things like earthbound spirits are attracted to you. Earthbound spirits are, people who haven't passed on, who have their own issues, who aren't bad in any way, but who have their own problems, and they kind of attach themselves to people who are still living in an attempt to get energy, in an attempt to cling on to the real world, or to undo what they did. They're operating from fear and guilt and all of those things too. So once negative entities come in, they are misguided, and then they drain you even more. And this is like a downward spiral. You're going down, 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 and it's very difficult to get out of unless you hit a rock bottom. And that's what happened to me. I hit a rock bottom. I completely surrendered. I completely gave up. I completely threw the towel in, and I kind of was forced to connect with a spirituality, a power greater than myself, who could clear all of this up for me, who could guide me and tell me what steps I needed to take to get rid of all of these things that were there and to kind of begin the process of recovery. Okay, so that's, and I'm not talking about recovery from addiction, I'm talking about recovery from these negative vibrations, this negative energy, these curses that I felt I had received, I had got. Okay, and if you're watching this and you're thinking, wow, this guy's really paranoid, I really I don't feel paranoid. I don't think people have bad intentions, but I do feel that whenever you interact with people, you get good and you get bad. And you will absorb the good stuff like you will absorb the bad stuff. And you need to do a spring clean within yourself. Then I also think that there are people in your life that you make enemies out of. And those enemies, everybody has enemies. Everyone has people that don't like them. Everyone has people, everyone. And it doesn't matter if you're spiritually enlightened and if you're wonderful and if you're, you know, I'm sure the Dalai Lama doesn't, but for all of the rest of us who are trying to progress spiritually and who are trying to do the best we can, we all still have an ego and we will all run across someone in life that we don't like, and so on. So it doesn't mean that we have to send them negative energy, but it means that we all give and we all receive. Okay, so the point of that is that some people will send you more negativity than others, and you have to clear that out. So that's the first thing where the negative energy can come from, other people. I also think that sometimes you're born at a certain time, or you choose a life purpose that is especially difficult. And this is where the astrology is useful, because it's a snapshot of the moment you were born. And you choose what you need for this lifetime. So let's say I killed myself in a previous life. That would mean that my soul recycles and I come back to planet Earth to work through that and to redeem myself in a certain way. But the lifetime after the suicide lifetime isn't going to be easy. I'm going to have struggles, I'm going to have to work through it. So I may feel cursed because of that. I may feel like, you know, other people come to planet Earth and are beautiful and good looking and find relationships easy and have fun and are positive and upbeat. And I'm miserable and unhappy and dissatisfied and I've done nothing. I've done nothing. That's just the way I am. Why am I like that? Am I cursed? So I feel that we all have our own karmic process that we're working through. And we all are at different stages. So some people come into this lifetime and will really experience difficulties. And, you know, it's a different kind of take on it, but I think that's a type of curse. Your own karmic journey will present you with certain obstacles. So those are so it's people, it's your own karmic journey. I think environments can kind of curse you. I feel that certain places on planet Earth are very difficult for me. Whenever I fly into Germany, as soon as the plane lands, and this isn't against Germany, this is my personal experience, okay? So it could have been anywhere, it's just an example. But when I land in Germany, I feel an immediate sense of constriction. I feel it's almost like running into Saturn, the planet Saturn. I feel immediately constricted. I feel like life is more difficult and I feel like I have to work harder and I want to get out of there. That's my own personal feeling. I don't know why that is. It's just a place like any other, but on an energetic level, I feel like it doesn't mesh with my own energy, so I get out of there. So that's a type of curse, I suppose, and I'm using the word curse as anything that's negative and that impacts you negatively, and that intervenes in you being successful and joyous and free. Okay, so location, anything else, people? I've mentioned the negative energies, so spiritual forces, so earthbound entities, negative entities, they can come in and really drain you. Do I believe in things like demons, Satan, succubus, witches, all of that stuff. Not particularly. What I do believe is that there are negative entities just as there are positive entities, because in spiritual truth we're perfect and we're untouchable, okay? Because we're all held in the hand of God all the time. We're perfectly at peace within God at all times. So we can't really be harmed. But we have come to planet Earth, and this planet is all about duality. It's all about black and white, good and bad, up and down, left and right. So on this planet we do have angels and guides who help. And I'm saying that because I feel them and I speak to them. And I have my own experience that that's true. So if that's the case, then on planet Earth, it must be true that there are negative forces. And I think, they have been called demons and Satan and all of that stuff. I don't go for that because that opens a whole can of worms with Christianity and fundamental Christianity. And I don't go there because that's a whole other thing. And I don't go there. And I just label it as negative entities. So I think those exist. And they can attach to you again when your vibration is low, and that's something that you then need to clear out. Okay, so those are the things that can affect you negatively. And even, I've said this already now, but just to bring the point home, negative experiences on planet Earth, being robbed, being lied to, being stolen from, all of those things will reduce your energy and make you more vulnerable. So it's important to keep your energy up and to clean these things out and not let them take hold of you. So that said, my journey was that I did kind of come to a point where I couldn't deal with these things anymore. And I actually went to see someone. I went to see a witch doctor. And don't laugh, because I'm telling you this because I want to bring home to you that if you believe in curses, you're not alone, because I believe in it too. And I wasn't interested whether it was a real curse or whether I had made it up or whether it was a negative entity or whether it was in my brain or in my heart or in my foot. I could care less. All I was interested in was getting rid of it. And the good thing about going to see this witch doctor was that he immediately understood that curses are real and they're not real. And I've tried to explain this as best I can. They're real if you believe in them, because if you feel cursed, you're cursed. Our minds are powerful. If I feel like everything is going to go wrong for me for whatever reason, whether I'm just imagining it or whether it's real, if I believe it, it's real. Therefore, curses are real because people believe in them. Okay? So that's the first thing. And he understood that. He said, they are real and they aren't real. And I am also not particularly interested whether you have some demon or entity here or whether you're just believing in your curse and you're not actually cursed, but you just feel it, you just believe it. What we're going to do is we're going to cleanse you and we're going to provide you with a symbol that actually blocks you and provides like an energetic shield from any kind of negative energy entering your system or maintaining a residence within your system, and we're going to get rid of that and prevent you from picking it up again. And that was excellent, because what that did is it made me feel like things were out of me, the negativity was gone. It also made me feel protected from my own thoughts, so my imaginings about curses, that if I thought I was cursed, that symbol would get rid of that and would prevent me thinking it, and also from actual things like negative entities, bad thoughts by other people. It would be a shield and it would just ping off that symbol. So I was given that symbol, I was given some instructions to meditate on that and to work with it. And ever since then, whenever the thought has come up, so when I went around into my daily life and something bad happened, and I thought, you see, it's because you're cursed. That didn't work out because you're cursed. That had been kind of anchored in my mind. It's almost like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. That symbol came up in my mind and it said, no, because you're protected. And it freed me from that belief that I was cursed. And rather than engage with, oh, I'm cursed, nothing goes right for me, instead of doing that, I was able to take positive action to resolve the situation, or to take whatever action was required, rather than go in on myself and think I'm cursed. And that's why I'm making this video, because that symbol that was given to me by the witch doctor has freed me. And it's been really helpful in my own life. And whenever I've told people about this, and this is why I don't care if people laugh or leave negative comments here, because this is my own experience and it's important. When people say, oh, you went to see a witch doctor, how hilarious, that didn't bother me because it actually helped me. And the symbol that I received from him freed me and made my life easier, and made me think that I do have free will, free choice, and that I can go about my life and do the best I can without being sabotaged by my own beliefs or negative influences. Okay, so that was really important for me. And if you're someone who feels the same way, then I'm just saying that there's a way to liberate yourself from that, because curses are something that you don't need to live with. Okay, so now I want to get into the practical side of things. And I might use some bad language here. I'm sorry if I do, but because this kind of incenses me a little bit. When you acknowledge this within yourself, and when you go and seek help about it, you're going to come across certain people. And I was really lucky because I found this witch doctor who was really good and who I got a lot from, and I had a positive experience. He charged me for the services, but it was reasonable and it really helped me. And to this day, I'm thrilled that I paid for that service and that it liberated me the way it did. But other people out there recognize that people believe in curses and that they feel like they have no way out, and they seek other people's help. And there are people out there who take advantage of that, because curses are something that's an innate belief, and people, you know, I don't want to call them psychics because they're frauds. So frauds will kind of prey on these people and say, I can sort this belief out for you by charging you lots and lots of money. And they charge lots and lots of money because they realize that beliefs are powerful things, and that people are really desperate to get rid of these beliefs. And what I've talked about so far should resonate, because a lot of people feel these beliefs very, very strongly. I felt mine very strongly. So the con men come in and they say, this person feels cursed, we're going to charge them $500 or $1,000 to get rid of this, and to give them, to say we're going to do some ritual to get rid of this, or to give them peace of mind. And they fleece these people because they know the belief is there, and it's not so much about helping out, it's about getting as much from that person as possible. Because when you're cursed, you feel desperate. You feel desperate with it. Okay, so I had a personal experience where I was on holiday recently in Florida, and just for fun I went to see this psychic, and she immediately looked at me and she said, oh, you're cursed. For I think it was $300 or $350. For $300 or $350, I can start the rituals to get rid of these curses for you, and I can free you up. Now, remember, I dealt with this years ago. I was satisfied that I had that symbol in my mind. I was protected. I do feel protected, and that I don't need to deal with this. Okay, so when she said that to me, I wasn't vulnerable. I was in a place of, yeah, right, I'm not going to pay you $350 because you're trying to rip me off, basically. So I was protected from her as well, so my symbol worked. But other people would have said, oh, thank God, you can help me. $350, I can't afford it, but I'll put it on a credit card and I will give you whatever you want just so you can get rid of this for me and I can have success in future. Some people will do that because that's why these con men do this, because people are desperate and vulnerable and afraid, and they want to be free. Okay, so that's the first problem that really crops up when people try and get rid of this. So my suggestion is please don't pay an arm and a leg to get rid of these things. But there are good people out there, okay? Like my guy, he was really good. Afterwards, I did the research on it to read up on what he did for me and all of those things. And I can do that myself now, but at the time I couldn't, and it was really useful to me. So he was good, and there are good people out there. But if anyone charges you, I'm saying in terms of cost, let's say, you know, you want to pay people for their time, and he spent, I don't know, 15, 30 minutes with me. So if you're going to be paying more than, I don't know, 50 quid, 100 quid, that's a pounds, 50 or 100 pounds, which would be $70 or $150. If you're paying more than that, it's too much. It's not worth it. Okay, even $150 is quite a lot. Let's say 100. Let's say £50 to $100. That's really reasonable, and people don't need to be doing rituals for you for years and months and under the dark phase of the moon. Those influences can be helpful, but it really, because of the influences I've talked about with this, it's not necessary. Okay, so my suggestion would be, if you do feel like you're under some dark cloud, it's not something you have to live with, go see someone to remove this from you, because it's not a great way to live. And what I do, because I have had experience with this, and what I'm offering via this video, is that if you feel like you've got a curse, I can remove it for you. And the way I would do it is, you give me some of your details, I check whether you are cursed or not, whether it's mental or physical, and then I actually speak to my guides, my angels, I connect with your energy, and we kind of stage an intervention, to kind of put a block on this, to kind of put an end to this ongoing cycle of belief and energy. We intervene, and then I give you a symbol that's unique to you, and then I give you certain things to meditate with and to work with, and then you can be free from this once and for all. And I'm not saying, and this is why I've been so hesitant and reluctant to make this video, because I'm putting myself in the same category as a lot of con men. Because a lot of con men remove curses for huge amounts of money. But I'm putting myself in that category because I'm one of the people who actually believes in curses. And I believe that when you feel like you're cursed, whether you are or not, you need to have it removed so that you can be free to live the life that you can live. Therefore, I am offering my own services and wading into this very murky field and very controversial area of service and expertise, because I think, despite the difficulties associated with it, I think it's something important to take care of if you're affected by it. I think, yeah. So I'll then give you the symbol and a way to meditate on it that you can use to get rid of that, and then that's it. You'll experience the same thing that I experienced, that whenever things come up in future, it's like, oh, it's the curse, then immediately that symbol comes to mind, you feel protected from it, you feel shielded from it, and it no longer has power over you, and you no longer feel like you're at the mercy of something running your life. Okay? So that's that. So if that is something that is something you want to pursue, then please get in touch with me. You can send me an email. The address is readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. Get in touch with me, just tell me what's going on, say, I just want help with this removed. I'll then give you instructions. I will charge for this as well, for the time, but it'll be as little as I can. And remember, I just set out kind of prices here in terms of what's reasonable. So I will do that. I'll give you instructions on how to do that. But I really feel that it's a valuable service. So email me at that address. You can go on the website as well, but I'm not going to put too much information on there because, again, I don't want this to be misconstrued too much. And it is a kind of area that I feel is going to be hugely controversial because of the kind of industry it is. So I'm not going to put information on the website. I'm just going to do this video. So just email me. You can send me a message on Facebook, facebook.com/Gregory Scott 444. You can send me a message on Twitter, twitter.com/Gregory Scott 444. And that's it. Yeah, so the best way is the email. So it's readings@gregoryscott.co.uk. And we can take care of this for you, really. And again, it's really transformed my life. It's put me in a much better place. And I've been ridiculed for it, and I could care less because it's really helped me out. And if I'm a primitive person because I believe in curses, then I'm a primitive person. And I don't care because I am free now. So yes, that's all I wanted to achieve with this video. I hope it's helpful to you in some way. I hope it gives you some sort of, hopefully you can identify or relate to some of the stuff I've said. And I look forward to hearing from you. So have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you soon.